Hi everybody, this is Jennifer. Welcome to my channel. Today I am doing a Friday Reads fancy edition because I decided to dress up for work even though I work at home today. There's one person I follow who does this every Friday. This is the first Friday I've done it. I don't know if I'm going to continue, though I do kind of like dressing up to work. Sometimes it makes me feel a little less homebound. So let's go over, it's been a couple of weeks, so let's just go ahead and go over. The first thing I did was DNF Bunny by Mona Awad. I got to about 40% and then I decided I could not care about the protagonist and I could not care about the bunnies because I didn't like the characterizations of any of them, and I did not really, I don't know, it just all felt very shallow and like they were caricatures instead of actual like characters, and that didn't really do anything for me. I did kind of skip forward a little and read like the last 20%, and I thought it ended okay, but I'm not counting this as finishing a book because I skipped the last 40%. So to replace Bunny, I read The Housekeeper and the Professor by Yoko Ogawa, and I had this for a couple of weeks on my e-reader and I got to it for Women in Translation Month, and I really liked this. I actually loved it. I gave it 5 stars. It was very touching, and I have been slogging my way through 3 books for the last month or 2, and this I picked up and in 3 days I had read it, and it was, it is it's on the shorter end. I think it's 180 something pages, but it was so engaging, and I thought the story was lovely, and I loved the math aspect, and I just thought it was a great read, and it really, if it weren't for this, I don't know if I'd have finished anything so far this month. So yeah, I finished that, and then the other day Kindle had on super sale for $2 Beard in Mind by Reid, and this is a small town in Tennessee kind of romance, not involving cowboys because it's Tennessee and I don't really think they have cowboys, but there's these Winston brothers and one sister, and I think there's 7 of them maybe, and each one of them not all of them gets, I don't know. This is only the second in the series that I've read, but I read the first one, and now I'm just read the 4th one, and I gave this 4 stars. I liked it better than the first one I read, which was the first in the series, whose name I cannot remember. But yeah, it's Beard in Mind. It's number 4 in the Winston Brothers series, and it is by Reid, and it involves this auto mechanic, Beau, who, his twin brother, who was in the first book, he's leaving to go on a world traveling trip to go with his girlfriend. So they have to hire somebody new in to take Dwayne's spot as mechanic in their auto shop. And so they hire this woman named Shelley, who's absolutely gorgeous, and she's suffering from OCD. So she does not like touching people. She is a little bit standoffish because of her compulsions. So they get off on a bad foot, but then, stuff ends up happening. I actually like this a lot better than the first one. The problem with these books, for me personally, is that they have this backstory with their dad, where he was the second in command of this biker, the motor club, but they're basically a gang, and they they're constantly getting in trouble with the law and stuff, and the sons are trying, the family's trying to get away from that, and the motor club, they keep getting involved with them, and that aspect of the stories I really don't care for. But in this particular book, it was enough that I could like get past. So I ended up giving that 4 stars, and I enjoyed it pretty good. So what am I still currently reading? I am reading The 12 Caesars by Suetonius. I've got through Julius Caesar, I've gotten through Augustus, and I'm mostly done with Tiberius, so I am not on track with this at all. And the whole Housekeeper and the Professor and Beard in Mind did not play a big, played a role in me not finishing that, but I am still chugging along, and I am going to keep reading it. I am also still reading this, Foucault's Pendulum by Umberto Eco. I've been focusing mainly on the 12 Caesars, so I haven't gotten to this in like a week, which makes me sad because I want to keep going with it. The same here with the 7th Function of Language. I'm still listening to the audio. Well, I would be listening to the audiobook of this, except I've just been feeling like listening to music and making playlists and stuff lately. I have not really felt like listening to an audiobook. So this has kind of been on hold for a little bit, but it's still something I plan to finish this month or in September. I do plan on reading some Shakespeare for ShakeTube. I think I'm going rogue for the first week and reading Julius Caesar again, because it's been like, I think I read it for the very first year that there was ShakeTube, and that was like that was my 3rd reading, so this would be my 4th reading. I'm really looking forward to it because I think Julius Caesar is my favorite Shakespeare. I don't really like, I think Julius Caesar is 1A and Hamlet is 1B, but I do believe those two are like right on top of my favorite Shakespeare. So, they're doing Hamlet the 4th week with everybody. So I'm definitely reading Hamlet again. I'm reading Julius Caesar. I want to get around to I want to get around to Antony and Cleopatra. Pericles is one of them. Anyway, I've written it down. I'll do a separate like September video, but I'm just like telling you what I'm planning for ShakeTube in September. I don't know if I'm going to make my own videos, but I'm definitely going to be reading along and commenting. So I have 4 new books. These first 2 are me getting my Poppy Z Brite collection more filled out. I am rereading a whole bunch of Brite's work this summer, and I want to keep on with that, and I'm gonna have a separate reread TBR for fall and winter. But there were 2 books that I did not have that I really wanted to read, so I found them. And this is Plastic Jesus. So basically what this revolves around, it revolves around Seth and Peyton, and I do believe this is taking place in 1969, and they're a part of a world famous band, and so they're dealing with band stuff. They're also dealing with like personal issues, and I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure they fall in love and have to, figure out if they're going to be public about it. And this is taking place in 1969, and I guess it's supposed to have something to do. Well, I think it also revolves around the Stonewall riots a little bit. But this is definitely something I'm planning on reading before the end of the year, and I needed to have it. And this is Guilty But Insane and this is a collection of Brite's nonfiction works up through, I think, maybe 2000. So the next two books I bought are Earlie King and the Kid in Yellow, and this is by Denton, and this is, I do believe this takes place in Ireland. Yes, it does. It's flooded, it's derelict, and it's raining all the time. And this is kind of like, it has a fable, mythic kind of tone to it, at least the descriptions I've read. I haven't actually started in them books, so I can't say that for sure. But so the Kid in Yellow has stolen a baby from the Earlie King. Why? It has something to do with the king's daughter, a talking statue, and something god-awful. And he's being watched by the king, and he's got this kid, and I am interested in seeing what happens here. And then the next up is The Flame Alphabet by Ben Marcus. And this involves a disease that's going around. It affects only parents, and it's triggered or is caused by their kids. Their speech, the way, it might be because of the way they're talking. Let's see here. Yep, the sound of children's speech has become lethal. So, this sounds intriguing, and I feel like it's some upscale kind of horror novel, but I don't know. We're just gonna have to see. That is what I'm reading right now, and some new books I've acquired. If you've read any of these and you have thoughts on them, please, by all means, leave them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice weekend. Bye.